another beautiful day. Yeah. Hope your five senses work. Health and strength is good. Now, to you iOS users, Microsoft just updated Xcloud, so things should be better. Listen to this, especially as far as like response and performance. It says here, Xcloud updates makes improvements to iOS performance. Xcloud Gaming perceives an update for Apple's iOS device that provides major performance improvements and increased responsiveness for games. Xbox Cloud Gaming is Microsoft's venture into the evolving mobile video game streaming market. It also makes players to instantly stream games on their phones or tablets that could usually only be playable on console or PC. The cloud service was recently added to an Xbox console and even worked on third-party platforms like iPhones and iPads. Xbox Cloud Gaming is a part of the Xbox Game Pass Ultimate Bundle, the Xbox subscription service comparable to Netflix, but for games instead of films. Xbox Game Pass is one of the major aspects of being promoted by Microsoft for Xbox brand. It is clear that a Netflix-style subscription is to a library of games that can be instantly streamed is where Microsoft sees the video game market heading in the future. Like that commercial, like that, I think it was Batman commercial, think about the future. Anyway, it says here, console hardware remains the current industry standards for now. However, Google Stadia attempt to break through in this new medium, but it may be another console generation before its true shift toward widespread game streaming happens. But Microsoft is still working towards this as it's released a major Xcloud gaming improvement update for iOS devices. It says here, this update is focused on improving responsiveness for gameplay on iPhone and iPad devices. This means decrease the delay between players' input and the actions happening in game. The delay comes from the time it takes for users' device to communicate with the server, where the game data is actually stored. As Apple products do not allow for an Xcloud gaming app, players have to use Safari browser. Remember you had to use a browser to get to use Xcloud. Use Safari browser. Make stream games as responsive as controller inputs on console will be necessary if game streaming is to become the next industry standard in home gaming. It says, although streaming instant AAA titles is already manageable feat in major cities and places with ultra-fast internet, many parts of the world aren't up to it yet. That means the infrastructure needs work. It says here the current generation of console already requires an almost constant online connection, which is half itself a strain for more rural areas. Tech giants like Microsoft and Google always have to think around 10 years ahead to stay in the massively competitive business of high-end technology development. This often leads to brand new global market service like Stadia that works well in Silicon Valley, where they were signed but overpromised everywhere in the world. Yeah, technology. Anyway, let me finish off here. Says here, the iOS update shows that Microsoft is still committed to game streaming move forward, but it can take time for those products to catch up with themselves. At the 2013 Xbox E3 event, they always bring this up. When Xbox One was first revealed, Xbox hinted at features that soon now like an almost proto version of what would later become Game Pass. These features faced such a backlash at the time, they were removed the next day. But they're gonna gradually bring those back. Anyway, so that's the end of the article. So Xcloud for iOS users have been updated, and they improve performance and response time, even lag time. the update should improve in those areas and make the gaming experience even better. Because remember, in order for Xcloud to work, remember Apple and Epic were in court over, you know. But then when Microsoft brought Xcloud to Apple, they have to use it through the browser Safari in order for it to work. So, because remember, Microsoft was trying to get Xcloud on every device you could think of, you know. So Apple users weren't exempt from the equation. So, you know, they never Apple users can play Xbox games, but it's through the Safari browser. So what this update do now is improve. It improves response time and improve gameplay. It improved delays and input lags and actions, you know, during in-game gameplay. So with the update, it should make your experience more better for you Apple users. So Microsoft got you covered, man. You know, you know, when they came out with Game Pass, they made sure Game Pass wasn't just for them. They made it for they wanted other people to experience Game Pass. You know, whether Apple users, whether even Linux, even Linux users, Windows users, and Xbox users. So they were trying to get Game Pass everywhere, you know. So you know, make sure everybody have a good gaming experience. And Game Pass, Game Pass was needed, man. Something like this, you know, it keeps the industry moving. It wasn't no monopoly or nothing like that. It just keeps the industry moving, and it was needed. Xcloud, same thing, you know. It was needed, you know, because you know, the Game Pass and Xcloud, you know, what Microsoft brought to the table with that, you know, it has kept the industry afloat, kept the industry moving in the right direction, versus like having the industry just stagnant and all you talk about is exclusives and that's it. No, it was needed, so got to give Microsoft their props. But when they came out with it, they made sure they took care of the Apple users, even if they received some kind of even if Apple wasn't so, even if Apple refused to be so forthcoming, if they didn't want to support it, they'd still Microsoft was making sure that Game Pass, you know, was that Apple users can experience Xbox games and stuff like that and play them, you know, on their devices. So, you know, they were looking out for everybody. So, either way it goes, iOS users, you know, they're enjoying the benefits that Microsoft provides with Xcloud and Game Pass for their devices, you know. So, Game Pass right now and Xcloud, they're good. You know, a lot of people like to use using it, you know, and streaming their games and play it on whatever device they choose, whether it's the laptop, the desktop, tablet, you know, and so forth. So yeah, Microsoft, they kept the industry moving, man. Even though some naysayers try to hate on Xbox, you know, Microsoft was always looking at the bigger picture. You know, it's the same thing with Google. They're always looking at the bigger picture. Like the article says, they think 10 years down the road. You know, so all this movement that they're doing now, it's for the next. It's for things that are going to take place within the next 10 years. So yeah, get ready, folks. Anyway, what I'm gonna do is just leave this article. Leave the video. Hope you enjoyed the video and leave the article in the description box so you can look at it. Nice talking to you people again. Chris, still a Star Wars and Star Trek thing. Dark Side.